What's going on, guys? This is Cam from SUBTEXT Media, and in today's video, we're going to be breaking down Harry's website. Harry's is a direct competitor to Dollar Shave Club, and if you guys haven't heard of those guys, they went through one of the biggest exits in the D2C space, and I believe they sold for just under $1 billion. $1 billion. And Harry is, I would say, second to those guys, meaning they have a big piece of the market. And as a D2C brand, your number one goal is always to maximize the value of your pre-existing traffic. So I'm going to break down what I see as opportunities to see an uplift in conversions for Harry's. So without further ado, let's get into it. So first things first, looking at the above the fold section is one of the most important things to do, because this is where 80% of your traffic will either decide to do business with you or decide to simply bounce, right? That's why we see across a lot of D2C brands, the bounce rate being so damn high, because they don't do enough here to actually sell the prospect to read on and on and on. Because the higher the consumption rate on a particular website, the higher the likelihood of a conversion. Now, with that being said, when we look at the main banner, right, which is usually going to catch a lot of the attention, especially left to right. That's usually how we're trained to conceptualize things and consume information. We see their main, I would say this is their main offer, their main headline, and then this is the subtext, and then their call to action. So in terms of a headline, this is very, very poor. Give something wonderful. Guys, 75% of your traffic is going to be cold traffic. Now, if you are a bigger brand, say like Harry's, that split might be 60-40, but nonetheless, these are people who have no idea who you are and what you do. And simply saying something like give something wonderful, well, I mean, that's vague in the sense that if I don't know what your brand stands for, how you're going to help me address some of the pain points I'm looking to address, why are you saying give this as a gift? Right? So first things first, we're going to have to rewrite this headline. And I always tell our clients, we have 3 ways to write headlines. One is you tell people exactly what you do, right? So this is like going into your line and explaining the benefits of your product. 2, you can tell people the problem you plan on solving with the solution you have in place. And then 3, you tell a transformational story, which is like, look, you're currently here, you want to be here, and our product / service is going to bridge that gap. These guys have done a horrible job doing that. This is a vague statement. It's not clear. Doesn't give me any idea of what Harry stands for. And because of that, I would bounce if I didn't know before who these guys were and what they actually did. Now, below it, when we look at the subtext, treat yourself to Harry's trial set or get a gift for someone on your list. Once again, very poor. When we write the headline and subtext, we have a very clear benefit-driven point here, and then we would actually reinforce the idea with the subtext to actually make our offer, that main headline, significantly stronger. So it would be reinforcing points. From there, what I would do is basically take this trial set and make it that primary call to action. Get started completely free with our trial set. Try our trial set on us for 30 days. Very direct, very to the point, but it also reverses a lot of that risk, right? Because if I'm new to you and your brand, I have a lot of skepticism. So for me to take an action that bold, like get started, is a bit too much to ask for. And then I would keep shop gifts as that secondary call to action, because that looks like it's a big part of their business, and there's no risk in putting something like that, because at the end of the day, you're just saying look at some of the gifts we have available. So that in itself is what we would do when it comes to the call to action. So to recap, obviously need a much stronger headline, need a subtext that reinforces that headline, and then from there, working on the call to actions to taking people to that next step. Now, moving down, I absolutely hate what they did here. Not that I hate that they're adding what we call company credibility icons and information, but I hate the fact that they've put it so high on the page, right? So remember, as one is scrolling down, the drop-off rates on your website continuously increase, right? So obviously you're going to have 80% of your traffic here, maybe another 19% and 20% here, and then another 10% remain after you get through this section, and so on and so on. Obviously that deviates from business to business, from website to website, but the point here is attention is scarce, and you must understand this psychology people are in and what they want to see in a particular time to getting to that next phase. And once again, the goal here is just to get people to consume more and more. What we would do is something very similar, but these would be benefit driven points. So 3 icons that actually exemplify what these products do to better my life. It's not about you guys as the business owner. It's about what's in it for the end user. And once you can understand 3 to 5 benefit driven points that are going to actually revolutionize or transform where someone is in their life by utilizing your product/service, then you're in a great position. At this stage, this is a great way to categorize your main categories. What we would suggest here is obviously have your best categories front and center. So obviously these guys are known for their shaving products, so that's exactly what they've done. I do like some of the copy they've written. Once again, backed by 100% quality guarantee is very vague. I mean, everyone's saying we guarantee this, we guarantee that. Maybe try at home 30 days on us. Bam, okay, that's different. So small stuff like this makes a huge difference when it comes to people taking that next step. Okay. Yep, perfect. Featured products, you're gonna have your best products front and center. In terms of social proof, great way to show their PR credibility. And then a note from Jeff and Andy. So these are the company founders. So if you can find a way as the CEO, as the founder of the business, to add that personal touch, obviously surrounding your products/services, you're in a great position to create those relationships that actually last for a prolonged period of time. So that's the homepage they currently got. There's a lot I would change here, but one of the things that for me has been huge when it comes to an uplift in conversions is people are being diluted with a lot of information in today's day and age. And when we look at Harry's, they're in the men's grooming space. And as you guys know, there are a lot of options. So what sets you apart, what makes you different is very important. And what we've done in super saturated industry is a us versus them chart, right? So what we would do in a section like that is simply dial into our value prop and then discredit all the other options within the marketplace. So then when people are in that buying mode, they don't have to look at 5 to 10 websites before coming to the conclusion of, oh, this is what sets Harry's apart. Do the research for them and they'll reward you by pulling out their credit card. So that, I think, would be one great element that these guys can add to the homepage to propel conversions and really make that user journey a little more simple, because there's a lot of skepticism and there's a lot of information we do consume. So if you can have a few bullet driven points of what you've identified in terms of what the marketplace wants, what they've already tried and what they've struggled with, and you can really answer all of those specific objections in a way where you uplift the value of your products, you're off to the races. Now, moving on to the product pages, this is a very important page for any D2C brand, any e-commerce brand, because around 60% of your traffic will be spending time on your product page. Around 30% will be spending time on your homepage. And then obviously the remaining 10% would be allocated to all your other pages. We call those miscellaneous pages. So your product page needs to be huge. Now, in terms of what these guys have done right and what they've done wrong, obviously we need some reviews. We need reviews to be front and center because we have a lot of skepticism. What we would do here is maybe make this a quote and utilize some of the PR they had on the homepage, because that can speak to the product's main benefits, but it also shows some type of credibility, which is huge. Here, what's good about it? Yeah, so these are feature-driven points, I would say. I mean, this is a benefit. Yeah, so these are benefit-driven points. I do take that back. This in itself would be a feature. These other 2 points are benefits. What we would do is maybe incorporate some icons that actually show in a way that's a little more simple and easy to the eye what our 3 points are, because we're always just scanning. We're scanning. We don't want to really read. So this might be a lot to consume all at once, and those icons can sort of de-risk that. In addition to that, large, medium, small, I absolutely hate how they've structured this one section. We go the extra mile across all companies that are doing something that's either subscription based or their business model is centered around selling in more quantities, to really demonstrate how much people would be saving if they go with the next option. So you buy 2 bottles, maybe having a little pull up right here that says you save a total of 50 cents, save a total of $1.50. Right? And that way people are like, okay, now I'm saving this much, as opposed to sort of looking to do the math in their head. That's asking for too much. That's asking for too much from that end user. You want to do all of the math for them, and you simply just want to lay it all out and say, guys, this is the best option. And although that might be the option that's most profitable for you guys, you're actually positioning that as the core offer by doing the math for them, showing them exactly why they actually need 3 as opposed to 1. And these guys fail at doing just that. In addition to that, maybe just adding how long these products usually last. Like, is it 1 shave? Is it 2 shaves? Is it 3 shaves? Like, I got all these questions, and those questions are not being answered. right? And this is the whole point of a product page. We got a bunch of objections that we want answered. And if these objections are not being answered, well, look, I'm going to bounce. I'm going to go look around. So right here, I don't know per bottle how many shaves I can get in. Maybe they break it down. They don't. So that's a problem, and these guys definitely have the data on that, and that's small stuff that is going to help and propel that sale. So small stuff like this, just guiding that end user through that journey that they're looking to be guided through. And if you can do that, well, you take one step closer to increasing your conversion. So there's a lot of work that can be done in this one section. Quality guarantee, maybe actually just writing this out would be better, because we've seen the opt-in when it comes to hovering over icons like this is actually far less than just the consumption that takes place when people write it out. That's just something we would do beneath this. No scarcity, no urgency. So, I mean, there's no desire for me to take that immediate action unless I have, you know, a tying desire for this particular product at this very moment, which I don't. And I mean, this is a lot of white space for two points. You can literally get both these points across, and I would add maybe two more in just one element, right? Because we're looking to give people everything they need in the most concise manner so they can get to that next stage. And then right here, there's no call to action that pushes me back to this one section. There's no option where I can just buy the product here. So I would actually have to scroll all the way back. Remember, guys, people are lazy in today's day and age. So you need to take all of this into consideration. In short, that's a little teardown on what Harry's can do to optimize their homepage, their collection page, and then their product page to see a massive uplift when it comes to conversions. Hopefully you guys got some value out of this. If you guys need some help when it comes to your website, when it comes to your landing pages, do let me know. We can do a free audit for you guys to show you just the upside that you can see on your own business. And then from there, if you guys see fit, we can look at ways to work together. Take care.